just with, well, it's not even like lack of education from it. It's just lack of material to find on these tribes because like when you really think about what happened to like the Native Americans in this country, it puts black Americans in second place to people who've been fucked over in this country because God, because put it like this, when was the last time you saw a Native American? It's kind of like few and far and in between. Most Mexicans really should get on the Native American train because a lot of Mexicans do come from indigenous tribes from America. So, I mean, if you Mexican and you listening to this, go look into your family history and figure some shit out because, you know, that Spanish thing ain't gonna work for y'all too damn long because you speak Spanish. You are not a white Spaniard though, so there's that. But the thing at this exhibit, and it was in her wing, and I have to fucking find her name. Hold on, I'm gonna take a pause for the cause real quick, and it's gonna be real quick. It's gonna be almost instantaneous for you guys, but I gotta look up the name of this woman. Hang on 1 second. Maybelle Grant. That's who it was. Sorry, I had to go into my pictures and look it up because I actually took a picture of her. I think it was her birth certificate or Native American status certificate. So look at, oh my God, you have to look up this wonderful, wonderful woman. She, made her baskets and all that stuff. Very, 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 extremely proud of her heritage. And then in the same wing, the exhibit, they talked about the occupation of Alcatraz. I want you guys to look that shit all the way up. The fucking Alcatraz occupation. This went down from the occupation of Alcatraz went down from November 20th, 1969 to June 11th, 1971. Native Americans took over and held the island of Alcatraz, and they had to be forced out by the fucking government. Basically, like, you know, how the American government is taking care of Native Americans before. They got forced the fuck out. They held that shit for damn near 2 years. Now, what got me, what struck me to this was like one of the more recent incidents where Native Americans were like, fuck this, we taking our shit back. They sent the government a letter saying that, hey, look, we there's been a precedent set. We will buy this land from you for $24 in beads and trinkets because of the precedent set for another great island in our country. They basically went on there and shut that shit down. I have the full letter, and I will. Oh, let's see. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna read the whole letter. All right, y'all about to get educated the fuck out of today. These Native Americans took they shit over. All right, so it says, proclamation to the Great White Father and all his people. We, the Native Americans, reclaim the land known as Alcatraz Island in the name of all American Indians by right of discovery. We wish to be fair and honorable in our dealings with the Caucasian inhabitants of this land and hereby offer the following treaty. We will purchase said Alcatraz Island for $24 in glass beads and red cloth, a precedent set by the white man's purchase of a similar island about 300 years ago. We know that $24 in trade goods for these 16 acres is more than was paid when Manhattan Island was sold, but we know that land values have risen over the years. Our offer of $1.24 per acre is greater than the 47 cents per acre that the white men are now paying the California Indians for their land. We will give the inhabitants of this island a portion of that land for their own to be held in trust by the American Indian Affairs, and the Bureau of Caucasian Affairs to hold in perpetuity, for as long as the sun shall rise and the rivers go down the sea. We will further guide the inhabitants in the proper way of living. We will offer them our religion, our education, our life ways, in order to help them achieve our level of civilization, and thus raise them and all their white brothers up from their savage and unhappy state. We offer this treaty in good faith and wish to be fair and honorable in our dealings with all white men. We feel that this so-called Alcatraz Island is more than suitable for an Indian reservation as determined by the white man's own standards. By this we mean this place resembles most Indian reservations in that, here's a list, it is isolated from modern facilities and without adequate means of transportation. It has no fresh running water. It has inadequate sanitation facilities. There are no oil or mineral rights. There is no industry, and so unemployment is very great. There are no healthcare facilities. The soil is rocky and non-productive, and the land does not support game. There are no educational facilities. The population has always exceeded the land base. The population has always been held as prisoners and kept dependent upon others. Further, it would be fitting and symbolic that ship from all other world entering the Golden Gate will first see Indian land and thus be reminded of the true history of this nation. This tiny island would be a symbol of the great lands once ruled by free and noble Indians. Listen. So they basically was like, look, we taking this shit back. Fuck you. And we think this is good because this is how y'all forced us to live anyway. This is like, and I want everybody who heard that segment, who heard me read that out. That is a real document. That is a real document. And I want to talk about Thanksgiving right now. Now, again, at the Native American marketplace, I saw a lot of white people. Like, basically in the clothes that white people think that Native Americans would wear. And I was looking at the reactions of a lot of these natives' faces. And it's like, here we go. You know? It was a lot of that going on. And I can see that thing. I study human behavior. I noticed this shit. Now, a lot of y'all listening to this now, a lot of my white listeners are listening to this. Well, Aaron, I'm 18% Indian. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not. You're a $5 Indian, and I'll tell you exactly what that term means. Back in the early 1900s, the United States government was giving out land to Native Americans. Now, this was a fucking lie, basically, because hold on. Now, basically, they were selling Indian land. They were selling Indian land back to the Native Americans. And I hate the term Indian because they're not from India, but I'm reading off of these documents and that was the common language at the time. So apologies for that. Now, this is about 125 years ago. So basically people paid $5 a piece for false documents that claimed them Native Americans on the Dawes Rolls. Basically, if you wanted some primo land, and you was a well-to-do white person, basically you just hand the right person $5 and they'll say that you Indian. In perpetuity. That's why that you see nowadays, you see the most whitest white person 11 months out of the year, but come November, you know, they got on headdresses and shit, and they wearing moccasins and stuff, talking about their great-great-grandmother was a Navajo princess. They always was princesses, too, by the way. Cherokee is usually the go-to, by the way. That term comes from that. So, like, if you're white, listen, if you classify yourself as white, listening to this show, and you say that you have Native American blood in your body, guess what? There's one of two ways that happened. One, somebody in your family was raped by a white dude. And two, somebody had $5. So, that's somebody had $5 and got land from that. So yeah, there you go. Happy Thanksgiving. Now, I posted a status the other day on Facebook, basically letting people know that it's November, and right after Halloween, all the Christmas decorations and shit popped up in stores and all that shit. I shop at Michael's, so they have Christmas up all year, but yeah, they got all the Christmas, and people are complaining. Why would that Thanksgiving come up first? Me, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't even celebrate Christmas, but at the same time, you know what? I'm cool with people skipping a holiday that's basically out glorifying the fucking slaughter of damn near an entire group of people. Cool. The people that were here first were pretty much massacred throughout the entire history of this country up until now, where they're basically set around in refugee camps scattered across the Southwest, with serious alcohol problems ridden in their communities. I've been to a Native American reservation. The shit is kind of sad. The natives that I know, and I love y'all all to death. I wish I could name y'all all. I won't, but y'all listening, y'all know y'all my homies, but god damn, I feel for your people. I really do. Like the natives I know, and most natives in general, like natives and black people have a common respect for each other. Like whenever you do meet an actual Native American and stuff, there's a common respect because it's like, look, we know, we get it. Shit was bad. Shit is bad. Is present tense. I don't, and since I dated a lot of natives, I know how they really fucking feel about Thanksgiving. Don't bring it up. Don't open that fucking wound. So yeah, fuck that shit. We're gonna take one more break. Yeah, there's more show. This is gonna be a good ass show. I got one more segment, and it's about dating. We gotta talk about some dating. I got to talk about this shit. And y'all hang on tight. I'm gonna give y'all a preview of what we're talking about. We are talking about disrespect in dating. Alright? Hang on tight. We're going to be right back with more Aaron Explains the Universe. We got Chromeo coming up next.
Relationships ain't a democracy. I'm good if you just stay on top of me. It ain't no mystery who's in control. You're sitting pretty, I'm replaceable. When we're out and having dinner, you get all your drinks for free. I can see who sent them over, it ain't compliments of me. I can hear them, they're talking, I stay in my own lane. I can't blame them though, cause everybody knows that you got the juice. Yeah, yeah, that's why I keep pressing you, pressing you, pressing you, pressing you. You got the juice, baby. That's why I keep pressing you, pressing you, pressing you, pressing you. It's usually freezing when I act this way, but it's cuffing season in the month of May. They let you in, but I just stay in line. A consequence of being way too fine. When we're out and having dinner, you get all your drinks for free. I can see who sent them over, any compliments of me. I can hear them, they're talking, I stay in my own lane. I can't blame them though, cause everybody knows that you got the juice. Yeah, yeah, that's why I keep pressing you, pressing you, pressing you, pressing you. You got the juice, baby. That's why I keep pressing you, pressing you, pressing you, pressing you. I've been a handful, but now I got it right. I'd be a damn fool if I didn't recognize I got a keeper, so I should keep it tight. I got a main squeeze, so I better squeeze it right. I've been a handful, right. I'd be a damn fool if I didn't recognize I gotta keep up, so I should keep